Good evening, councillors. Welcome to Barn Green, Wednesday the 5th of November for the Finance, Admin and Personnel Committee meeting. There are no members of the public, and so we will crack on with the agenda as issued. First of all, no apologies, because I think I beg your pardon, there is an apology. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a resignation as a chair from Highways, so they will not be attending.
So we need to note that, I think, is an apology.
No, Councillor Bevan has resigned as the chair of the committee.
Yeah, noted. Thank you. Declarations of interest arising from this agenda. Excuse me. Members and officers are invited to declare any relevant interests. Notwithstanding this item, members may subsequently declare an interest at any point during the meeting. There's just one item from myself to declare in terms of one of the items for expenditure that has already been paid.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other declarations of interest, councillors? No? Okay. Minutes of previous meeting. To receive and confirm the accuracy of the minutes of the meeting held on the 24th of September 2025. To receive and approve. I think everybody was here for those. Yep. So do I have a...
I'm happy to approve.
We're happy to approve, Councillor Castle, okay with that? Yep. Second?
Yeah.
Good. Tick. Fine. Thank you.
You just need to sign those then.
I'll sign those there.
Or each page.
Blue paper. Where have I got that from? No.
You can have that one for a minute.
Okay. Public participation. As there are no members of the public, I suggest we move on to item number 5, the financials. Five. Financials. Number 1. Election fees. An invoice has been received from Winchester City Council for an amount of £17,160.33 for the recharges for the by-election on the 14th of August 2025 to consider and agree environment from the earmarked reserves fund. I think
there is a memo
there is
from
a
the
memo
RFO,
to accompany this point. Let me just pull the memo out. Okay, I think you've all had a chance to... Sorry, Councillor Carson? Sorry?
So the environment suggested from the DCC building pot, I have to say, it's not just the DCC, it's the buildings pot, yeah? So it would encompass DCC, parish officers, those sorts of things. I am reluctant to use that because we do know that we have a pretty tall order ahead of us in terms of funding the parish officers. I think it's possible, I'm not sure why it wouldn't be, that we actually consider environment from the burial ground pot because we have more years. It's still, the burial ground purchase still remains on the agenda. We have more years to put this. We're looking at what we've got, 7,000. It's about 10,000 we've got to find, isn't it?
Sorry, 10,000 for what? Sorry.
To make up the difference between the £17,000 bill that we've got for the by-election and the money that's available in the
reserve fund. Right. Yeah, 10,000, just under 8,700.
So I know we'll have to kick this around, but the need for the building will occur significantly earlier than any opportunity to purchase more land. We'll have more time to build up that money in the burial ground pot again. We know that we need the money in the buildings. We're going to tour.
Right.
That's just my statement.
Okay, that's fine. Councillor Clay, any comment or views or opinions, please?
No, I couldn't find any alternative pot to take it from.
Sorry, go on. No, I was going to say, from my understanding of vehement is that it doesn't mean it's permanent. I mean, you can vehement from one pot to pot A and pot B, and then once you've decided that pot B hasn't got enough or pot C hasn't got enough, you can move it again from pot B to pot C. So it's not permanent move, if that makes sense. That's my understanding.
Only if we've got understanding somewhere that we can then...
Yes, agreed, yeah. So the request or the suggestion from the RFO was to consider and agree a vehement from the earmarked reserves fund. I think what you're suggesting, Councillor Carson, is that to consider and agree a vehement from a different fund.
Her note said from the buildings.
Yeah.
And yes, what I'm saying is I don't think we should touch that money. We're going to need that earlier rather than later.
Right. Okay.
Where we know that we've got a much longer period of time to rebuild funds back in the pot for any future purchase.
Sorry, Councillor Clay.
I normally like to go and follow the recommendations of the RFO, but I'm of the mindset at the moment to perhaps go back to her and ask her for an alternative or to look closer and examine other recommendations if she hasn't already exhausted her avenues to do so.
Right, okay.
That's perhaps where I am.
Okay. Councillor Carson?
Yeah, and she may have considered that touching the burial ground pot was sacrosanct and we shouldn't go there. So yes, it might be helpful to suggest that we do look at other... My concern though is I don't know what time period we've got to pay this.
Well, that's where I was going to go next.
Yeah, and we've got...
we've got the invoice here to pay. So...
One assumes 30 days.
Hang on.
In
we've
which
got
case...
an invoice, actually. It's in that pack somewhere.
In which
case, yes, yeah.
It has been done before when there were pressing matters. Could we perhaps ask Jenny to look at alternatives and then agree via email what we want to do? So we don't have to wait for the next meeting, because I think that might...
Well, the next meeting won't be until the new year, I think.
No,
there's one more
this year.
Yeah, the invoice was dated the 14th of October. It doesn't say payment terms. No.
Right.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, well, they think payment due on the 13th of November.
Okay, so...
But please, thank you.
Next week.
Right. So could I go back to my suggestion?
Yeah, sure.
We agree to ask Jenny to look for alternatives.
Agreed, yes.
Funding. For example, I think we should say, for example, the burial ground part, and that we, if she can come back, obviously soonest, that we agree.
We can bless that on email.
Via email.
Yeah. Is that a proposal?
Yeah, tidy it up.
Yeah. So basically, I think to consider and agree a vehement for the earmarked reserve fund, we've considered it. But the recommendation is, dear Jenny, could you go back and have a look at whether or not we can move it to a different fund and do it and agree by email before the 13th?
So do you want to put in the funding that you... So the proposal, I believe, should include the way you want it to look at.
Yes.
So if you want to put that into the proposal.
Yeah. Okay. So to ask Jenny to consider alternative sources of funding.
Leave it as that. Yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry.
To consider alternative sources of funding, for example, the burial ground fund, pot, and that we vote on this via email due to the bill payment date.
Okay, that's the proposal. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I'll have a bit of second that.
Okay. I think that's good to me as well. So I think we got there in the end. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Carson and Craig. Good. Okay. Excuse me. That was item 1 under financial. Item 2, orders for payment. To consider and approve the orders for payment. List 11 to consider and approve.
You want to sign? Yeah. So you to go for a vote.
You've had a chance to read these?
Oh yeah,
You-
I absorb them every night.
Absorb them?
Every night, so-
That's a nice term, isn't it? Councillor
Okay.
Clay, are you okay? Any comments?
Yeah, I'm happy.
You
you've
happy for
already
me to
stated-
approve? You're okay for me to approve?
Yes.
Okay, good. I
Shake
can,
hands.
good.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
I can tick those according, or sign those, not tick them, because that'd be wrong. And I'll date them as well, Joe.
And can I just point out, so you've done a unanimous vote, but obviously it's only for future payments that haven't already been made, and the other items that have been made due to Lloyds Bank issues are only being ratified tonight.
Thank
Good
you.
point. Thank you for clarification. Yes, I'm glad that we're getting to the end of the Lloyd Bank issues,
Yes.
because that was a flipping. Right, those are signed. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was item 2. Item 3, SIL. A payment of £15,027.25 has been received from Winchester City Council for 25% neighbourhood SIL. Invoice number 41PR00397 to consider allocating these funds to the Tanners Lane / Carpenters Field earmarked funds currently held by Council. And I have the remittance advice here from Winchester City Council, item 5.3. Any comment, observation? Yes, Councillor Carson.
Yeah, I'm literally trying to find it on the.
You want that?
No, I'm looking at the draft budget. I believe we've got 65,000 in the
62,825.
Yeah, in the Tanners Lane. The figure I was seeking was what I've got in amenities currently for playground maintenance, which is not a great deal, knowing 31,000 in playground equipment and replacing. It's kind of because we haven't done the budget approval yet. This sort of sneaks in front of that. I'm very aware of things that we very much need to do, particularly relating to Ashland Park. The situation with the sand and the surfacing is frankly disgusting. It's kids are literally playing in animal feces, particularly the sand. And that's an ongoing cost and so on. I did have a brief discussion with Francis around this, that we should perhaps be looking at getting an idea of how much it will cost to resurface the areas at King George, at Ashland Park underneath the play equipment. So not the entire area, just the areas directly beneath it, and thus getting rid of the horrible sand and bark. We don't have enough money for that. And I would possibly like to suggest that half of the amount going to Tanners Park and half the amount into playground maintenance and equipment.
In theory, I would agree. However, definition of SIL suggests otherwise, and that is, and I read it out, the rules governing how local authorities in England and Wales raise and spend monies from developers for infrastructure projects.
But we are.
So not maintenance,
It's not.
and it's not such.
It's not. It's a moot point, and you certainly can use SIL to improve facilities.
On the development that was occurring. So in this case, on the Tanners Lane.
No, that's just the suggestion. You can use.
Yeah.
SIL.
We have to evidence to Winchester how the money is spent,
Yeah,
and within a period of time.
yeah. We would be improving the facility.
Absolutely agree with that.
At Ashling, which is
Yeah.
open to SIL allocation. Okay. We need to improve the facilities.
Don't
there.
disagree with that.
So this isn't about replacing the equipment.
No, no.
Equipment. This is about resurfacing.
Yeah.
I'd like to see certainly that Ashling Park becomes our flagship play park, which kind of should be really, and it's far from that. The surfacing is really criticised
Right.
by the public. So we certainly, if we can get clarification that we can use, and I have read up on SIL, we can use SIL for improving, and in this case we're actually suggesting new surfacing, so not just buying more sand or buying more chip, we're actually changing something physically, and I believe that would be open to or meet the SIL criteria, but it's certainly something we could check if, in principle, there was agreement for that.
Yeah. My 2 points on that. First of all, it's a shame that we've got to make the call here with regards to this particular project before the budgets have been resolved.
Exactly.
That's the first point. I mean, we can't do much about it because we are where we are, I think. There's a part of me also which says that we've got this land that we've now transferred in terms of on Carpenter's Field, that we've now transferred and signed over, by the way, on the land registry stuff. And that land is also in need of some urgent maintenance or upkeep to make it look a little tidier than it is.
Also, the requirement is a play area.
Yeah, so there was a play area designated for the Carpenter's Field part 1, or whatever, it was part 1, or the first part of the development. So I take your point, Councillor Carson, but I'm excuse me, I wait to get Councillor Clay's input as well, but I'm of the opinion that for this particular SIL allocation, 25% of the share of the levy fund, I think at the moment we probably need to take the RFO's guidance on this for the time being, only because we're not at the budget stage. We've signed off on the budget. We have got a plan and a commitment, and keep me honest here, I think, in terms of a playground for Carpenter's Field. So we're going to have to put something there, whether it's 1 swing or 20 swings, I don't know, but we're going to have to do something.
We already do have 62,000 in there.
But yeah, but that, I don't know whether that's enough.
And that
That's all I'm saying. Then we'd have to transfer the money around again.
That would become, what was it, 15?
It would give a total amount of 77.8 in total, 62 and 15 in total.
So that would become nearly 70,000.
78 in total. Yeah.
No, if we were putting half, 78 exists for Turners.
No, 62. 62 is currently in there,
Yeah.
and another 15.
Right, and I'm saying that if it's 50-50, then you've got
Yeah.
nearly 70,000.
Yeah. But I don't think that would be sufficient to buy a playground for tennis personally. But I don't know. I don't have the numbers.
I suppose I have a view that says, it's great to be, and we have got a commitment that there will be a play area there, but we're also seeing our current playgrounds deteriorating.
Agreed, yeah.
And whilst that's largely play equipment, the surfacing at Ashling Park is diabolical.
I think there's two separate things here. You're right. I think the surfacing needs to be changed or needs to be upgraded or maintained differently or done something. But we've also got an obligation, I think, to the Carpenter's Field development in terms of putting something there, whether it's £66,000 or £78,000 worth, I don't know. But I do think there's two separate issues here. It just happens to be under the one bucket of playground, in my opinion. I don't know whether you've got any input, Councillor Clay?
Yeah, SIL money should go to where it is supposed to go to, and then evidence proven how it was spent, otherwise it can be taken back. Okay.
I mean, the request here, I think
The SIL money is not allocated to towns to the new playground. It is not allocated to it. We decide how to allocate it.
Yes.
And I was suggesting that we split the allocation.
yeah. I must admit, I'm not in favour of that at the moment, I don't think, in terms of splitting it. I think at the moment, I mean, and the reason I say that is because I don't know what the budgets are going to hold anyway. We haven't yet agreed any of the budgets, let alone the amenities or the other playground. And it may well be, Councillor Carson, that we may actually have more budget available to do playground maintenance in terms of grants. I don't know yet because we physically haven't had those discussions until next week or the week after next, right? So I'm of the opinion at the moment, my just putting my sense of worth out there, that we accept and agree the RFO's recommendation in this particular case. And if at the end of the day it's in the wrong pot or there's not enough for one pot or the other, we go back to vehement again in terms of moving it around with justification accordingly. But at the moment, I think at the moment we don't have enough evidence or enough information to suggest anything different at this moment in time. That would be my 2 cents. I don't know whether you, Councillor Clay or Councillor Clausen, got anything. Or Joe, please feel free to chip in because I know that you were part of the SIL application
So
process.
the discussions that took place in the office regarding the SIL funding that came in is that they do not believe the budget that, or the RFO does not believe the budget we have for the play area is adequate. They do not believe we will be able to provide a play area adequate for.
This is for
the
Carpenter's View,
Field,
okay. With the current funds that we have.
And we are imminent into having to provide that.
Yeah, bearing in mind we've now signed the land over.
Yeah, and the agreement is it will become a play area.
Yeah.
And we've also agreed, I believe, that we are going to put it out to the local residents for them to
That
have
was
a
a
say.
suggestion,
Yeah,
certainly,
let the local people in
Well,
Carpenter's Field have a say in what went in there.
Because one of our new councillors is resident on the actual
Yeah.
view. Actually, one of the houses that live right opposite the green. so it's quite a good opportunity for her, hopefully.
So until we know, I don't believe until we've got full costings from play, because I think it's a
we
risky
don't
area.
have any costings from any of the companies yet, do
No.
we? For either maintenance and or installation of the new stuff.
Very expensive. Very expensive.
I'm sure everything is. So, where does that leave us? I think at the moment, the considerably allocating these funds to the Tanners Lane Carpenter's earmarked funds currently held by council. That's the recommendation, I think, and I think it was the case that we needed to agree or propose something, either accept that or propose a different to that. I don't know, Councillor Carson, have you got any comment, or is that no comment, or was that?
I have commented out.
You commented out. Right,
But
okay.
on this particular side.
Okay, noted.
So,
So in that case, I would propose then that we stick to the original agenda item, and that is that we allocate the funds that are for, consider allocating the funds for the Tanners Lane Carpenter's Field earmarked funds currently held by council, and we put that into the recommendation that you've got a copy of the RFO here to hold it in the various the reserve account, which is Sage Code 3040. And would committee be minded to allocate this code to this amount, 15,027.25, to Sage Code 34? That means that as per the RFO's recommendation. So that I would propose that we accept the RFO's recommendation. All those in favour?
I will second
Is there
it.
second?
Sorry, all those. Beg your pardon. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I overstepped on one. Yeah, you okay? Yeah. Thank you. Good debate though, but it does raise a couple of other things.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, right, moving on. Oh, look, Christmas Eve.
Christmas
Already?
Eve.
Christmas Eve working hours to discuss and approve the closing time for Denby Parish Council on the 24th of December. To discuss and approve. What day?
So it is a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, is it?
It is a
Right.
Wednesday.
Okay.
From what I have established previously, what I can see, that the office closed at 12 o'clock, but then that is down for you to decide.
What do we normally do?
So in the previous years it's been 12 o'clock.
It's midday.
Midday?
Sorry.
Any reason why we wouldn't do anything different to that?
No, only if you decided we needed to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
there.
Are you happy with that?
I'm happy with that. You know, it's
When do we reopen?
so we reopen. So we close the 29th, 30th, and 31st. But all the staff have to take that from their annual leave. So that
Right.
they have to save annual leave to take that. We will then reopen on the Friday of the 2nd of January. I do believe there are a few people that will take holiday that day,
That's
because
the first
not much is going to happen that Friday.
Mm.
So some people will take holiday that.
And just as a matter of interest for me, because I've not been in the position I am now, this coming Christmas period versus last Christmas, is there a emergency service type? If you've got a tree that's fallen down that's blocking your road,
So we do have the call out.
so that
they
will
do.
be normally in process, and that is something that we're not changing any of that. Okay, fine.
No, your call out
All right.
will still be your call
So-
out over that period.
In that case, to discuss and approve, the proposal then is that we do the same as we did last year, which is close the office on the 24th at midday. That's the proposal.
I'll second that.
Yeah, and that's
Thank you.
unanimous. Okay, thank you.
What, sorry, did you take the vote?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Joe took the vote. Yeah.
Yeah, unanimous. Yeah.
Unanimous on that one. Thank you. Christmas is coming then. Right. Number 7, social media, to consider what content could be added to the council's social media output. To discuss and determine action. Councillor Clay.
Christmas opening hours. Closing hours. Straight away.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think from this agenda that's probably
And-
the main
Yeah.
thing. Isn't it?
Can I just also add to that point? Is it also worth putting anything out there in terms of emergency service or cover, or
Yeah,
just to add, because you and I, Joe, in the past have had a discussion about the notice boards in
Yeah.
the park don't have an emergency number, and it's not easy. So I think if you put that in social media as well, then I think that covers us both sets, doesn't it? Opening hours as well as if you have a problem that's an emergency. Now we're going to get some strange ones, I'm sure. Hopefully not, but I think it'd be worthwhile adding that as well. Okay. Sorry.
Add the emergency numbers
Yeah.
to Facebook
Yeah.
posts.
Okay. Is there anything else that needs to be added on the social media? I think that's it for this time
Not
around.
this committee. no.
Anything else? Okay with that? Anything else from Councillor Carson, mate? Social media? Okay.
Oh, sorry, just to clarify, the fencing's been completed. Was it under fact that we said that when it was completed, you were going to take some photos? but you
So
hadn't done
it was agreed
And
under
right,
fact.
Right, it was done under fact.
So we agreed it under fact.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So if we could also revisit that, it doesn't have to be done, you know, by the next week or whatever, but as soon as possible, if I draft something and circulate it to FAB.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any? Excuse me. Is there anything else that needs to be added for social media? I'm conscious that we have a separate topic, not on the agenda, regarding Denmead Scene and everything else. So, but this is for a FAP social media
Yes, it is.
piece
Yeah.
only. So, from a FAP perspective, Christmas opening hours, I think, is the key one, as well as the FAP on the fence. Yeah. Okay. Unless there's anything else, I suggest we move on. Okay. 8. Matters for the next agenda. Councillors are asked to inform the parish clerk of any items they would like added to the next agenda to discuss and determine action. Any exceptions there? Councillor Clay? Councillor Carson? No? I haven't got
And you
anything.
can let me know nearer the time. It's fine. Any time
And I'm
between
sure
now
we
and the
will.
next 5 weeks.
On Friday the 2nd of January. Or no,
No.
too far out.
Yeah. No, too far out. We'd have
Okay.
missed it.
9. Confidential report. To pass a resolution in accordance with the Public Bodies Admission to Meetings Act 1960 to exclude the public and press for discussions of a confidential report relating to the following. Minutes of the confidential report, staff admin, and staff admin.